Yeah, g'day. Look, how are you going today? And especially, how's it going with those that you love? I mean, the very most. Are you worried sometimes about your future? I mean, where is our civilization going to? I'm not talking about any civilization, I'm talking about New Zealand. And beyond New Zealand, think about the Western civilization. Look, I'm a selfish bloke. I want to know, will Western civilization, the Christian base of Western civilization, will it survive? It stood the test of time for 2,000 years, but where's it going? And what on earth is Western civilization? Well, that's why we have Pastor Neil Thompson to help us find out.
Morning, James. Yeah, look, where the idea of Western civilization, that term came from, in the split of the Roman Empire, what took place was you ended up with the Greek Orthodox in the east and ended up with the Roman Christian church in the west. Okay. And it's that Christian influence, that worldview that's pervaded Western Europe. And then from Western Europe, it's been planted into the Americas, into South America, into Canada, into Australia and New Zealand. And from there, we get this basic idea. So the West is really what has been influenced by Christianity, particularly Roman Christianity and Protestant Reformation. And that's what's driven it. And that's why we call it Western civilization.
Oh, okay. So the West goes back 2,000 years to the time of the Roman Empire. It splits east, west. West stays Christian.
Correct. And then from that, it then transplants itself all around the world through England and through into the Americas and South America and so on. And so that's why we have today this notion of Western civilization. It's a worldview that comes from Christianity.
Well, there you go, folks. If you've ever wondered what on earth Western civilization means, why is it Christian-based? Well, it goes back 2,000 years, the beginning of the Roman Empire. It splits east and west, and the West remained Christian, and the Western civilization of the old Roman Empire has influenced the world. What about New Zealand? We asked Nicky Wagner, Member of Parliament, what she thinks about Western civilization. Nicky, what is the Western civilization?
Well, for me, I think the most important thing is the fact it's about democracy. And of course, having a democracy means that people have the freedom to have their own points of view, to say what they want to say, what they need to say. And I think it also means that there's a respect and a tolerance for all types of people.
Okay, when we think about the Western powers over the last 1,500 years, they've largely been Christian, haven't they?
Well, they have indeed, yes.
Christian values, do you think that's added to the strength of Western civilization?
Well, I think probably to have a democracy, it aligns very closely with Christian values because, as I've said, it's to do with respect of all people and an equality of all people and a caring about what people do. Also, I think it's really focused on the family. If you think of Christianity and you think about God and His Son, it really empowers the family, and I think every democracy respects family. Okay.
What do you see as the major strength of Western civilization? You've spoken about democracy, but...
Well, maybe it's to do with the fact that we have a shared history as well, and that those values are underpinned in that history. Interestingly enough, New Zealand, of course, comes very closely, it links closely with the Western democracy, and particularly British traditions. Our parliament is based on Westminster, but those traditions are important too, and I think it's a good place to live in the world. Okay, so the principles of Christianity include freedom of faith, the freedom to think what you like about God or not or what. And here comes a question for you. It's a parliamentary kind of question. People are wondering, how far do we go to protect our freedoms to do what we want? Do we throw open the borders and let's let in everybody open slather do whatever they want? Would we lose our Christian values or our Western democracy? Well, I think it's beyond just thinking about faith in terms of letting people into our country. There's a strong feeling that New Zealanders have a value systems, have that faith, have those freedoms, and therefore we want to choose who comes to our country. We make those decisions. We take skilled employees to come because we feel that they can add value. But at the moment, of course, that is the basic bottom line. If people can add value to our society, we welcome them with open arms. And I have to say that at times we get different value systems coming in. A lot of refugees come into New Zealand, and some of those find their homes here. Some are Christians and some aren't. But I think one of our strengths is that we can absorb those cultures, can enjoy them, and can live together. Okay, thank you. Now, as we wrap up, Western civilization,
Will it survive? What's your view?
Of course it will survive. I think we have to believe in democracy, we have to believe in personal freedom, and we have to believe in having the values that are important to us.
And life is full of hope.
Absolutely, life's full of hope. I just want you to think about this, though. In the Western civilization, indeed around the whole world, there comes times when life just doesn't go so well. We've faced enormous stress just in the last few years. But the story of the Bible is that through the most difficult of times, there's hope, there's life.